Good morning or afternoon, and welcome to ACC 124. This is Accounting Databases or Microsoft Access, and my name is Robin Baird. I am your professor for this class, and the purpose of this video is to go through the syllabus for the class. The reason that it is a audio-video recording for the syllabus is to kind of go through any confusion that sometimes is circled around this class. It used to be a mandatory orientation a couple semesters ago, but we got rid of that due to the class going fully online, and now due to classes being virtually due to COVID. But to hopefully go through the class so that there's no confusion with regards to it being an 8-week class, not just in the summer, but also during the regular school year. This is a class that is normally taught in the 8-week format during the normal semesters that are 16 weeks, and sometimes there's confusion that because it's in an 8-week format that it is not as hard or as much format in the class, and there is. So it is a hybrid or accelerated class, so there's a lot of content. It tends to be a little easier in the first 4 weeks from the amount of information compared to what is in the last 4 weeks. So we will go through the syllabus and I will explain it as we go along. So the first couple things to go through, the best way to reach me is always by email. My email address is right there, rbaird@sdlcc.edu. I will be having virtual office hours through Collaborate. I will go through that as I pull up the Blackboard shell here as we go through the syllabus. But the hours are going to be on Tuesday night from 7 to 9. We will also have a virtual tutor that's available in Collaborate during the week, and I will show you how to access her as well. As we go through the syllabus, we have really no prerequisite in the class except for that you need to know how to access a computer and Microsoft Office basics as well. And through the course, you're going to learn how to build a database in Microsoft Office 2016. The book you need is Access 2016 Comprehensive Edition. The ISBN is there. You do not need to have a new book. Everything you need from a data perspective, I will give you in Blackboard. So you do not need anything from that book. I will give you all the data, and I say that because sometimes people try to go get the data, and that data might be different than mine. So I will give you everything. Everything you need will be in Blackboard. If you use a Macintosh does not necessarily run Microsoft Access. I've had people in the past try to do that. It hasn't worked out. Office 365 is compatible in some instances, but it does not run Access. So the college runs on PCs. This is a PC-based software, and so I do need to let you know that up front. Obviously, with services at the college not running right now in full capacity, it's a bigger issue. So please take note of that. I don't have a lot of solutions for you right now, except for you're probably going to need to have access to a PC. This is a class where academic honesty is on your side. We need you to be honest. There are ways where I can see if you are doing your own work, so please make sure that I have no problem with you working with other people if you need to, but you do need to make sure you're doing your own work. Each week, the course is set up in modules. You will have a quiz, a hands-on exercise, which would duplicate what we would do in class, and a homework assignment. There's no final exam, but there is a final case project. You must turn in the case project with a passing grade in order to pass the class. I use a normal grading scale, so there's nothing different there. For some reason, this class more than others is one in which I get asked about an incomplete. You have to have a 70% of the classwork done and you have to have an 80%, I'm sorry, I just said that backwards. You need to have 80% of the classwork done and a 70% in the class or better in order to take an incomplete. So in this class basically means you need to have everything through chapter 6 done and basically only have the chapter 7 and the casework problem done. So basically this is meant to be something that is catastrophic at the end of the semester. It's not meant to save you from an F. Class preparation for this class, the biggest thing you need to do, especially at the beginning, is not wait until Monday night to do the work. Everything's due on Monday but the case final project. If you wait until Monday night and you get stuck, you're going to have problems because you can't always reach me Monday night at 8 o'clock. And then when you're trying to do the work and you're trying to submit things and you can't get a hold of me, then you're sitting there and you're late. And if you follow down to the next portion, which we talk about homework, all right, homework cannot be submitted late. And we're going to go into the details. We'll do this twofold, I guess. First, each homework assignment, you're going to be submitted in printouts, but they're not paper printouts, all right? They're going to be done in 2 ways. And we're going to go through the assignments in Blackboard in a second, and there's a whole separate video on how you submit things, all right? But you're going to be submitting these printouts through PDFs or XPS, and you're going to be submitting them in Blackboard, all right? So there's 2 different ways. I do not take any homework by email. Everything's submitted in Blackboard. Homework cannot be turned in late without reduced points. The maximum you're going to get is 50%. Right? This is because it's an 8-week course. If you get in the habit of turning in homework late, then you get this ripple effect because homework builds, each chapter builds on the next chapter or the prior chapter. So therefore, if you turn in one chapter late, the next chapter is late, and it's just a ripple effect. So, and I can't grade everybody's chapters late after late. So if it's late, it's 50% off. It's the same for everybody. I cannot give one person an excuse without giving everybody an excuse. So it's just easier to say no, and I just stick by that rule. Quizzes cannot be turned in late because the answers are given after the due date is passed. So quizzes cannot be submitted late. So if you are running late, I suggest you get your quiz in and then you turn your homework assignments in or your hands-on assignment. It's always best if you are running late to get as much as possible turned in, get your quiz in, get your hands-on assignment in, and just turned in the homework late. There's no reason to turn everything in late. Get as much as you can in as possible. I already talked about academic dishonesty. College policies, if you have any additional issues or questions, there's a link there for college policies. The last day to withdraw from this class is July 17th. There really usually isn't anything in this class with regard to the access office. I don't have anything that's timed. I don't have anything where we need typically any additional services, but if you have anything, please be sure to contact the access office and then let me know. All right, I mentioned the accounting lab. The accounting lab will be offered through Blackboard, which we're going to flip over to in just a second, Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 p.m. And her name is Maddie. Then we have academic support services if they are needed, and those please verify any hours due to the summer restrictions, but the phone number is there, and also they are on the 2nd floor of the library. So let me go over here. This is your Blackboard shell. When you come into Blackboard, if you click on the Start Here button, usually when you first come into Blackboard, and again, there is a tutorial on Blackboard and submitting, but you first come to the announcements. I will send out an announcement when I have all grading done. The announcements will be posted here in Blackboard, and I will send out an email. If you do not have the college's email set up, I suggest that you come into Blackboard at least once or twice a week to see what the announcements say. I will send out announcements that say grading has done, go into Blackboard, check your grades, check your comments. I will then come out again and say if there's an update to the grading. I have had semesters where people have not checked their grading, have not checked the announcements, where I've repeatedly sent out announcements saying the same thing. There's a problem in the grading. Please check your grading. Please check your grade book. And the same people are not checking their grading. So you need to be sure that if you do not have email, that you are checking these announcements. Under the Start Here button is where you want to start. Hopefully you've already been in here. That's how you found this. You have your syllabus, class schedule, which is just a copy of what we're going to go over next. Your syllabus quiz, which is what you need to be watching this for to send to me before I do any grading. This video that you just saw. Here's your introduction to Access, showing you a little bit about Access and how to print. Blackboard video, which will show you more about Blackboard, and just the minimum requirements that you have to take this class. All right, hope I scrolled way down on that. I'm not sure how I did that. All right. So now the next part is going through. So the next part of the syllabus then is how we have the class set up. So the class is set up in modules. The first week being where we're at right now. Every module has the week and then what is due. So for the first week, oh wait a minute, sorry, this had to really confuse you guys. That's why it was scrolled down. That is not the right class. There we go. All right, sorry about that. You guys had to be like, really, what's going on? So here's the first week of class. Week 1, technically there are 2 chapters. The first one is Office features. If you feel that you have a good common knowledge of Microsoft Office, don't worry about it. Right? The attendance quiz is due on Friday. Again, no grading until that's turned in. Chapter 1, quiz, hands-on assignment, and homework are due on Monday, June 15th by midnight. Notice each week, same thing. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Always due on Monday. All right. The whole setup is exactly the same. If I scroll on down, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, Chapter 6, then we get to the last week of class, Chapter 7, Week 8, sorry. Week 8, we have Chapter 7 due Monday night, and then the case project is due on Wednesday. I will release the case project usually at the end of Chapter 6. Once you get Chapter 6 done, somewhere in the middle of that week, I'll release it. So you'll be working on Chapter 7 and kind of Chapter 6-ish. I'll release it so you can look at it while you're working on 6, and then you'll be working on 7 and the case project at the same time. So it is due no later than July 29th at midnight. I cannot take any late projects because your grades are due on that Friday. So that's why I have to have them done. You have a full class, so I have 25 case projects to look at. So I have to have them all by July 29th at the end of the day. I grade them all at the same time for consistency. Any late homework, if anyone has any late homework, has to be done by July 29th as well. So if you're running behind, all late homework, everything has to be turned in on July 29th if you're late. Right? So I'll release it sometime around the 6th. Now you can turn homework in early. I know that's always a question I get asked. Yes, you can turn in homework early, but I grade them all at the same time. So you turn in Chapter 6 homework back with Chapter 5. I won't be grading it until the 20th for consistency. So you want to make sure you go back in and look at the grade to make sure you don't need to make any corrections before Chapter 7 is due. So if I go back over here to Blackboard, if you look at, I showed you the syllabus and stuff is in here again. Course content has some PowerPoint, which I go over in the Blackboard presentation to kind of help you go through week to week. how to print to a file, which is very important. Here's your course assignments. So this, which I just showed you, week 1, if you come over here to week 1, it matches it. Here's your quiz, here's your hands-on, here's your homework. It's laid out to match exactly what your syllabus does. So if you click on chat quiz and hit begin, there's your quiz. Right? Question, question. You go through and then you hit save and submit. If you save the answers, it's the same thing. Yes, you can print the quiz too, but it counts as an attempt. All right, so make sure that once you come in here one time, that counts as an attempt. You want to make sure you submit it. Hands-on exercises, you click on it. You go in and get your database. Sorry, I had to find, there's your database, and it tells you exactly what you need to do. Now again, watch that video on using Blackboard, using Access. It talks more about how to use this. And then here's your chapter 1 homework. So hands-on and homework are very much the same. So that is set up for all the weeks. I do not have the final project out here yet. And then, if I go to the Tutor Accounting Lab, if you click on this link, it will take you directly into Maddie, which I'm not going to do because Maddie's in there right now and she'd answer. I will go down to the join the Blackboard Collaborate. If you click on this button, the Blackboard, right here you can see this is my office hour link. If you click on it, it says, oh, hang on. I'm editing it because it's me. Oh, it thinks I want to edit it. I'm sorry. Let me go into the, it's not letting me in because it's me. Oh, there we go. And I say join. I'm joining as me. I'm going to join. I'm the only person there. But if you came in there during office hours, that's where I would be. And you'd be able to see me. My face would be there. You'd be able to talk to me, etc. And so that would be how we would operate the office hours. So all you have to do is click, and I'll highlight it here so you can see when you come in, you actually click right there. All right, so that is your video. What you should do now, if you haven't done it, is you need to go back to the Start Here button, and you have a video, Blackboard video, which will walk through the options that I went very quickly through in Blackboard. And then before you start doing work, you do need to watch your intro to Access and printing. I get a lot of questions on printing, and all I do is refer you back to the printing video in Access. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.